me fire, give me that which I desire. All right, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's the RGR Racing League, and we've got the Lisa Laing Memorial 160 brought to you by Dream Vacations. Make sure you check them out. Link down there on the stream. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Colin J. Kennedy. Colin, little speedway action. I mean, we could almost call it super speedway action here at Michigan.
Yes, absolutely. We got a 2-mile D-shaped oval at Michigan International Speedway. We're looking at a decently banked track. Got 18 degrees in the corners, 12 on the front stretch, 5 on the back stretch. Dean, we're going to be seeing up to 170, 180 miles an hour. We're in for a treat tonight. We're going to see some speed.
Absolutely. You're going to see a ton of speed. We're going to see multi-groove tracks. So guys running up top, guys running up bottom, and everywhere in between. So, Colin, I guess the thing here is tonight is, can guys survive? I mean, they're really going to have to be out here and be cautious and have spatial awareness.
I like that word, spatial awareness. This is basically almost like a Daytona or a Talladega for some of these trucks. They're going to be holding it wide open. You've got to know where you're at on the track. You got to know if you're 2 wide, if you're 3 wide. We're going to see that tonight more than likely. These runs are going to come quick, and these guys are going to have to make quick reactions. They cannot make delayed reactions. If you do, you will definitely see yourself wrecked.
No doubt about it. Guys are going to have to get out here and do battle just like we're seeing in practice. And you can see there, when they get side by side, Spear and Olsen going at it right now in practice. I mean, the air will change, Colin. It's going to affect the car. You might get they lose the nose a little bit, lose the rear end a little bit. You're going to have to adapt on the fly tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I want to talk about a little bit is qualifying. Qualifying is super important here. You're going to want that clean air. When you have that dirty air behind you, you're just going to make that car tighter, make those tires wear out quicker. When you're up front, you don't have to worry about it as much. So a lot of these guys are going to be really looking to get to the front at the start of this race to save those tires. As we're looking in at the points, you see Adam Newton at the top.
Yes, sir. And I mean, you brought up a great point. Clean air is king, folks. Always is, always will be. You're right. Newton at the top right now. He's got a substantial lead over George Leal, Sheffield in third, Williams and Maurer top 5. You got Ratliff, Spear, Person, Ripka, and Dibble in your top 10. Guys got to make a move. I mean, if you're anywhere in the top 5, tonight's your night. You got to go get this win, don't you, Colin?
Yeah, absolutely. Could be a great night for some of these guys. This really is a throw in the air right now. Honestly, this track is basically a super speedway, so there is a chance of anybody winning tonight. So tonight is the night where you can capitalize on points. You can also have a lot of these drivers getting wrecks early or wrecks later on in the race. It's going to affect them. So really, those guys that are fighting for that championship need to be cautious and try to maximize points tonight, because this is where the make or break situations are.
Can't wait to get it going. We're moments away right now. I ask everybody to rise up out of their seats for the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof for the hands of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, all set, all ready to go. The boys are gridding up. Let's get into it here with tonight's starting order. Bernard Person in the 8 machine will be starting on the point with a time of 39.449. He beat Greg Ratliff. He'll start on the outside of row number 1 with an identical time, by the way. In row 2, you got Olson and Jackson. Row 3 is going to be Williams and Whitford. You got Lester and Suggs in row number 4. Row 5 going to be George Leal, Randy McCanney. Newton and Corey Leal will start in row number 6. You look a little further back, it's Maurer, Brantley, Martin, Gilly, Sheffield, Hartwick, Spear, Helm, Musial, Bruce, Ledford, Johnson, and rounding out the 28-car field, going to be Ricky Williams, Eric Whiting, George Dibble, and Mike McMillan.
Tight field tonight. I mean, the top 10 was within a half of a tenth in qualifying right there. It's just going to show how important a lot of this being up front is to a lot of these guys. They want to be up front. They want to be able to control the race. They want to have that clean air.
Yeah, and how tight it is exactly how you race this track and how you get an advantage. It's slight. You've got to gain hundreds, not tenths. Here we go. Pace car off the track. The Lisa Laing Memorial brought to you by Dream Vacations, about to get started. And they're green. Person down, a good start on the bottom, up high. Ratliff gonna probably lose 1 or 2 as Olson down there looking.
And that high side is going to carry a little bit more momentum off this corner right here. Watch for that 5. He might be able to clear that 61 coming off of turn 2. As no, the 5 jumps up ahead of the 61 jumps ahead of the 5 right there. Now they're all going to start probably trying to get in line right here.
Yeah, the shortest way around, usually the best on that first corner, and tonight Olson puts himself right into second. He's got Bernard Person in front of him. They'll be looking to do some damage.
Scott Olson might be trying to go ahead and trying to get this lead early, if he really can. He's going to try to maybe set up a little bit of a pass off of turn 2 right here, maybe take a little bit of a blip heading into 1 to get that run going on that backstretch to try and take control of this race where a lot of these guys want to be. As you see, Bernard kind of go a little bit wide there.
Yeah, you look at these shots here, 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide. Heavy traffic. Guys got to mind their business. Spatial awareness tonight again, Colin.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, you see it already. These guys are pack racing. This is not just going to be like normal Michigan where you're going to see them really space out. It's going to take time. You're going to have to really see tire wear, and a couple of mistakes really separate this field. They're going to be bunched up for a while here.
Now, what I'm interested to see is guys running fast laps. Brian Helm, newcomer out here tonight, just ran the fastest lap of the race. So watch out for him. Helm showing on our board in the 97, but I believe he's in the 26 truck as he tries to get that number thing fixed. But newcomer out here running fast, already up 9 spots. You got Nate Maurer down there with them. He's picked off 4 spots as well. He looks to make some moves. Further back, Eric Whiting's picked up a few. And there's Jason Spear back there. I always wonder what he's up to. Looks like early on, he's not worried about going too hard. Klaus Williams is. He takes over second.
Yeah, he really sent that thing in the corner right there. As a 61's going to get a little bit of run back and maybe make a peak. He's just going to decide to push him, which I don't blame him right there. But, yeah, this is going to be probably, you're going to see a little bit of this aggression from some of these guys like the 5 right there trying to get underneath. It's just going to be extremely difficult with this long straightaway and having no draft help. You are going to get swallowed up, and you're going to have to find that gap, which there is a gap right there for the 5.
Yeah, I think if he runs down here too long, probably going to hurt his tires. But now Williams down there, that'll help him slightly or hurt him. You see the dirty air made him drift up the track a little bit.
Yeah, and you're going to see that a lot. A lot of especially with time, a lot of these tires are going to wear out. That move's going to be harder and harder. That's the reason why you're probably seeing the 16 go for it early, is because he knows he has the tires. But you're right, that dirty air is extremely difficult. It's almost like it just sucks you backwards.
So right now, the high line sort of prevailing. It's where all the help is. Now Olson's gone down to the bottom. Is he in trouble here, Colin?
I believe that honestly he can get out if he can dive it in this corner deep enough to be away from that dirty air. He might be okay, but as you see, I mean, he tried to stick it on the bottom, and it's just making him wash up. Yes, he's going to probably get eaten up right here and really swallowed. He's just going to keep falling back unless if he finds that gap that I've been talking about.
And the blood's in the water, or the chum's in the water. Guys looking to eat. Jason Jackson comes up high. He's going to try and keep the run alive, but Olson going to find a home if he wants it. But Claus Williams is up there now. Woo! Contact between the 5 and the 16 there.
Yeah, good move with the 5. He really saw that the 16 got tight there and tucked it below him. And now, I mean, already looking underneath the 8, which he's going to get that tight air again. He really probably should try to clear that 16 because now that 16 is going to have a little bit more momentum.
Yeah, Greg's down there working hard, and he knows he's burning them up a little bit, but he wants that clean air bad. Bernard Persson and Claus Williams just not allowing that to happen at this point.
Yeah, and all Bernard Persson really is doing is he's just licking his chops right now. This is exactly what he wants to see behind his mirror. He wants to see these guys battling and wearing those tires out, so it's more difficult for him to get past here.
Absolutely. I mean, if I'm Bernie, I'm watching my mirror and I'm pulling whoever's behind right beside the car again. I'm helping whatever lane's behind. I want them side by side. The Toad Man just put down his best lap, so patience early. Now he's starting to make a bit of a move.
Yeah, and as you're looking through this field, I mean, you've realized that everyone's kind of gotten the same lane. You're not really seeing 2 lanes anymore. If you are, you're going to see that right there. What a move by Claus to get to the lead there. But the 8's going to switch him back and see if he can't take it back going into 1.
Yeah, great job by Claus grabbing the lead. Bernie actually at the line, the leader. He said it. He's crossing him over and looking for it. I don't know if he can get it done down here. He will, though.
Yep, he just needs to go up. Yep, he's got the move done. That's a good clean move right there. That's a leader right there.
Absolutely, the 8 looks comfortable tonight. Behind him, Williams, Ratliff third, Olson fourth, Jackson in fifth. Ratliff with another move down to the bottom, and he's going to clear Williams. Williams looks a little slow up there right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's struggling with tire wear. I mean, you see his gain positions. He was at 3 when he was at second, so he might have actually went ahead and heated up those tires too quickly now, and he's struggling with grip. 61, though, with a massive run to the inside of the 5 of Ratliff, but he's not going to be able to complete that pass off the corner, so he's going to have to try to find that gap between the 16 and the 5.
And you can just see, it's like being on the highway. I mean, the momentum comes and momentum goes. Williams now seems like he's got the momentum back again.
Yeah, the 8 actually went down to the bottom right there, so he's actually helping him. But now, once he goes up, all it's doing is making that 5 pull. He's going to push the 5's going to push the 8 now. The 61's going to really just kind of get freight trained around here at this point. Most of that 97 comes and follows. 87.
Scott Olson, the He-Hut machine looking for the lead.
Buried it.
He touches the yellow line, gets a little wiggle, comes up.
Wow.
Right in front of the 8. The 8 settles in behind him.
The 5 to the inside of Bernard Persson here.
So some great battles up front. We haven't really been able to check on the field. These guys racing extremely hard. Look for someone back in the mid-pack to come forward, as they've probably been doing a little better job of saving stuff. You got Whitford back here in the 42. Leal's lurking. Newton's lurking. Newcomer Brian Helm are right there as well.
Yeah, big checkup right there from the 51. Oh, big checkup from the 16. He's in the wall.
Yeah, 16 out of sorts. I think there was some contact somewhere along the line there. Got Claus out of shape, and you can see how momentum-based this is tonight. He lost it, and he's lost about 8 spots because of it.
Yeah, and that wall is extremely dangerous, and that's really truthfully, I think in iRacing, one of the hardest walls to hit, the hardest walls not to hit. You come off that corner, and I'm telling you, it will come out of nowhere, and it will eat you alive. And that straightaway is so long. That's something you got to be careful with this track. These straightaways are so long. You make one mistake, and that's not just 1 or 2 positions. That can be 6 or 7 positions.
How about Sheffield up here now, too? Sheffield up 8 spots. Helm's up 10. So these guys are really on the move here. Sheffield in that 36 machine, right behind Adam Newton. Last year's champ, Adam Newton, by the way.
His car looks like a Cheeto bag.
He's got a little bit of everything on there. I think there's 7 different paint jobs on that car. That's an Earnhardt tribute car. All the Earnhardt paints are on there. Find your favorite one. So up front, Scott Olsen rocking the He-Hut machine, leads this thing, and he looks strong. And the thing is, Colin, he's looked strong a lot early in this races. It's lap 14 of 80. Can Olsen look good on lap 80 of 80?
I mean, it really just depends on what. I think these guys do have to pit here at some point. I don't know if they can make it on fuel unless if they're really saving at this point. So I think it also goes with pitting. I mean, like, you mess up on one pit stop, and I mean, you lose 5 seconds in a blink of an eye, and it's hard to gain all back. So a lot of these guys really just have to focus on being consistent now, and if they have to pit.
So a little thing about fuel mileage and everything and pitting, we're looking at 26 to 28 laps on fuel. 27 would be a 2-stopper. So there are fuel mileage concerns. Especially if you're leading a lot of laps, you're going to be close. You're going to be up against it.
Yeah, I definitely would be saving at this point right now. You really kind of want to make it a 2-stop, like you said. You don't want to make it a 3-stop. If you make it a 3-stop, you're just setting yourself behind. You want to make the least amount of pit stops as possible at this point, unless if there's a caution, and that is very possible.
It's very possible. Guys doing a great job out here, keeping it clean here in the Lisa Laing Memorial, brought to you by Dream Vacations. Of course, we lost Lisa Laing back in 2006. If any of her family or friends are out there, and we certainly feel for you. You know, I heard she was a racing enthusiast. She would go to the track and watch some races and that, so I'm sure she's dearly missed. And yeah, we're glad to support the cause here tonight. Another cancer victim out there, Colin. You know, we ask everybody to support all your cancer research needs out there.
Yes, absolutely. Cancer is definitely an evil thing, and nobody really likes it.
No, that's a fact. Nobody does.
Nobody
like
likes
it.
it. Nobody likes it.
We're all on the same team with that one, no doubt about
Yep.
it. Olsen out front, person chasing, Ratliff been there all night, just can't get by. These two, they're really testing him tonight. Could it be, Colin, pit road is where this is won and lost tonight?
I think absolutely. And one thing I wanted to speak about was hitting early. What if you go a lap early? I know I just said that you want to go really about as far as you can go so you can make this a 2-stopper. But this track, I mean, you're seeing some of these cars, they're starting to wiggle a little bit. Like, they seem like they're just not handling great. And maybe they are. Are you going to take tires?
Contact! Ratliff! Leal! Wow! I mean, there may not have been contact. Leal went on the outside. I don't think Ratliff knew he was there. It was a little bit of a rub. Very dangerous for the both of them there.
Yeah, 3 wide going into turn 1 right here. They're going to have to be able to... Oh.
That fight brought this situation up, and that put Sheffield in the middle. Everybody doing a great job holding their line here, and that puts Sheffield up to third all of a sudden. Watch out. He's up 14 spots on the night.
Sheffield's looking good tonight. That's impressive for 19 laps. That's almost a position a lap.
He's impressed over and over again, and he comes from the back often to go up to the front, and he has really got something here. He somehow picking up all these spots. He's still saved his stuff because he's down underneath the 8 of Bernard Persson right now.
I also want to point out the amount of aggression that is starting to build now that they're about to start doing pit stops is increased a lot. So a lot of these guys are really just trying to gain as much time as they can with the tires that they have so that they can better off their situation on pit road. Because a lot of these guys, I think this is where you're going to win the race off is off the pit road.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think Sheffield realized the bottom not meant to be. Bernard Persson going down there a little bit as we're on board with Greg Ratliff. Ratliff on the bottom, and he's getting shuffled back. He's fallen to 7th. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Now dealing with Jason Jackson. Derek Whitford jumps down behind him. Good racing here. Again, it's Ratliff tight on Jason Jackson. Wow, Ratliff just cannot get underneath people. Unbelievable action. Randy McCanny's made his way up to 6th. He's involved up here now. Jackson right there. Whitford, Maurer in the mix.
Yeah, we're definitely getting extremely aggressive right now. A lot of these guys are making those a little bit more risky moves right now. I think it has to be for pit road. A lot of these guys are just trying to get up to the front, and I'm trying to see really what Scott Olson's plan is right now with him leading all these laps. I know he's definitely holding the throttle down way more than the guys behind him. I wonder if he's gonna have to come to pit road a lap earlier.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, you've got to complete lap 27 at least twice to make it. So it's going to be highly interesting to see who pits and when. Anybody coming in on lap 24, 25, they're going to need help. They're going to need a caution.
Also want to point out another thing for pit road. None of these guys are using brakes right now, and they really don't know what their braking power is. How many people are actually going to speed coming onto pit road?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a big thing. I mean, a lot of guys in this league adapt at it. They have practiced it. They know what they're doing. As we check in with the Toad Man, Todd Gilly, rocking that Kylie glass. Currently, right there, he's got Lester behind him. Up on the high side, he got Corey Leal. There's Darren Bruce up there. Suggs up here in the mist, so Jamie Suggs having a decent run. He's lost 4 spots, but he's, that's easily done here. I mean, it's pack racing, basically.
It's easy to make one mistake, and you fall back extremely quick. A lot of these guys are really just trying to minimize those mistakes, and that's really where you're seeing a lot of these guys up front. They're just minimizing their mistakes.
Checking around YouTube land, all is quiet right now. Same for Facebook, as everybody waits for pit stops to see what's happening. We're about to start lap 25, and pit stops are imminent.
Do you think we'll see tire changes here, or do you think that the tires are good enough to last another run?
Of course we're going to see tires. This is not a true super speedway. Tires are wearing out significantly here.
I think so too.
So we're definitely going to have pit stops. We look in at Greg Ratliff. Greg has fallen to 17th position. So Greg running all those laps on the bottom. I know he'll learn from it, but so far he's still down there.
Yeah, he's just waiting for that lap 27 so he can get a new set on there. He's definitely struggling with grip at this point, and I think this is exactly what you were talking about. We will see tire changing at this point. We're looking at about
Brantley first on pit road. I had a feeling, and he's loose, and he's wrecking. Will that bring out a caution? I don't think it will. Wow, the 3 wrecks are going on to pit road. A big mistake, unforced error there, Colin.
Yeah, and it's like I said earlier, a lot of these guys, they haven't touched the brake pedal all night, so they really don't know what the car is going to do.
Race is on. Olson, Persson, Sheffield, Leal, and Newton out front. Newton's been quiet, or we've been quiet on Newton, and we're seeing other guys come on to pit road here. We got Jackson, Whitford, and Whiting on pit road. Leaders stay out. Sheffield looks to make his move here.
Oh, wow.
It throws it in deep. He's got to almost stop. That's going to hurt Persson. Person's got to come underneath him. Power move by the 36, but he lost all of his momentum, Colin.
Yes, and I mean, it's really a risky move with these tires. I mean, we're looking at 1.2 seconds of fall off just in this run. And so this is not an easy move to make, but I like what he did there. He got on that outside. He knows that inside is not going to work.
And here they come.
Oh.
When there could be contact here, Leal in person, Sheffield and Olsen. It is definitely a race down pit road. Wow. Look at this mess. Lap 28. They're all in, folks.
This is the
Adam
make or break
Newton
deal
stays
right
out, does an extra lap. I love this from Newton. We'll stay with pit road here, see who comes off. Remember, Whitford, Whiting, and Brantley have already pitted. They'll be coming around momentarily. Newton's still on the track. He's probably coming in. He is. Back to the exit. Bernie's spinning the tires, something he's worked on, and he gets a good launch late there and gets out in front of McCanny.
Sheffield jumped Olsen there.
Sheffield to the front. Wow. So could it be one on pit road? Absolutely. Field's going to break up here. There's Newton coming in. Clean stop from him. But out front, Sheffield by a mile. Impressive stop.
That was a great stop from Sheffield there. I mean, you saw it on pit road when they were diving in. He made a lunge behind Scott Olsen right there. Really just try to make up as much time as possible, and he definitely did it.
So we'll see if this thing, concertinas back up together, accordion, if you will.
Adam Newton's starting to get past a little bit here. I'm interested to see where he's going to file in. He's still not even on banking yet.
Yeah, he's going to be in a bit of trouble here with the field, but he's got one lap extra. He's got no more saving to do, and the tires do matter here, so we'll see where he can file in. Currently falling all the way back to 10th or a 9th right now. So it looks like he can settle in at 9th. Not too bad from the 2 machine. Early story, Sheffield.
Yeah, big gap right now for Sheffield. And this is really where the field is starting to split up a little bit. We're seeing the gaps a little bit bigger. The front 3 are about all within all within a half of a second each other. And then behind them, there's a big field that's about 2 seconds behind. See if they cannot get up together and run these guys back down.
You see them all broken up. Look back at about 25th. There's Brantley, who he had an issue on pit road. Obviously, some others did too. We go back up a little bit further. You see Newton with fresher rubber starting to make some moves. He comes underneath of Nate Maurer.
This is really where the bottom side is going to be able to actually prevail some. They've got newer tires, so you definitely need to make advantage of it right now, but don't sit down there. I mean, you saw that last run with Ratliff. His tires fell off extremely bad at the end of that run, and there was nothing he could do. He was just getting swallowed the whole time.
Yeah, and he battled a lot. Right, Olsen to the lead. Wow. So Olsen's come all the way back, and with the momentum, he's gotten around Sheffield.
I like
Whitford
that.
will be looking for it, too.
Scott likes to be in control of this race, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I like that move from Scott.
You got it. Clean air is king, folks, and he knows it. Sheffield kind of knows it, too. You can see him poking his nose on a different line, trying to get a little air on that machine. So his top 3 race, Person leading the pack coming after them.
Adam Newton passed about 3 people in that last corner right there to get back up to 6.
He knows what he's doing. I mean, Newton, not to be trifled with these days. The number 2 on the move. He pitted 1 lap later than everybody. Darren Bruce making moves. He's right beside George Leal. You got Maurer and Williams fighting. Behind them, it's Helm in there with Jason Jackson. Helm hops up to the high side, jumps in line. Williams stuck on the bottom. Colin, what are you doing here? I mean, are you avoiding the bottom at all costs, or are you not scared to go down there?
I think at this point you see the gap to the leaders. I think a lot of these guys just need to get in line and start trying to work with each other to get back up to that front pack and give them all a shot to win. I think that really being aggressive here, unless if you're Adam Newton, because you have a little bit newer tires, he needs to be up front so that he can really just guide this pack all the way back up. I think they all just need to get in line and really just try to catch that lead pack, because you see the gap right now. I know it's being closed, but by the time they get there, a lot of these guys' tires are going to be wore out.
So lap 34 of 80, approaching halfway here in the Lisa Laing 160. Newton has got 1 lap fresher tires. Person has had a great race, maybe not a great pit stop though. Sheffield did. He leapfrogged a bunch, but Olsen ran him down and passed him. So Olsen out front right now. And we haven't talked a whole lot about Whitford. Whitford's been lurking in here quietly. Started 6th, sitting in 3rd, Colin.
Yeah, he's had a quiet race tonight. Really not being super aggressive, just making the right moves is the best way to put it. And there's nothing wrong with where he's sitting at right now. I think he's really in the catbirds. These two get to battling. You take it 3 wide and take that lead, and now you are in control of the race. So I really like what Whitford's doing right here.
So if you're Sheffield, Whitford, you're up here. Are you content at this point? Are you saying, let's work together, let's get away from the pack and settle it amongst ourselves?
If I'm Sheffield, I'm trying to get the lead, to be fair. That's all I'm trying to go for right there, is just trying to get in control of the race.
Let's take that a little further. If you try and you go side by side, you're going to bring Person, Newton, McCanny all back to you real quickly.
That's definitely, I think that's imminent. I think it's going to happen at some point. I think it'll happen quicker if you do that. But I think at this point, when you're super speedway racing, you have to be selfish. And that's really whenever you want to start making your moves. So I agree, but I think that I understand what Brandon's trying to do at this point. He just wants to get that lead, just be able to save those tires and really control this race. That's all what a lot of these guys want, is control.
I don't know, Colin. I'm thinking about today's generation and labeling them selfish. I'm not sure, though.
Selfish is fair.
McCanny rocking that beautiful Ford machine. He's where I like to be, Colin, all alone. Don't touch me.
Yeah, and I mean, he's able to really hold that draft in front of him right now, so he's not losing speed. And, you know, nobody's around him, so he can't really get in any incidents, can't get in the wall. Which, I mean, he can't get in the wall, but he's definitely taking it easy. You see Lester on pit road.
Yeah, unscheduled stop here for the 78. Not sure what's going on. Interesting move. Going to put Lester at a big disadvantage. Here it looked like both Olsen and Sheffield were a little out of shape, but they keep working together. I think this is all Sheffield. I mean, Olsen's done a great job getting the lead, but I think Sheffield probably had the momentum to make a move here or there, and he's just deciding, you know what, let's stay in line. Let's not bring everybody back to us. But
yeah,
like you said, it looks inevitable, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've been looking at lap times, and they're running like 3 to 4 tenths faster each lap. So I mean, it was coming pretty quickly. I think that Adam was really just being the best partner you can at that point. He's giving them the right bumps and everything.
Yeah, it's partnership, but it is being selfish too. You're gonna stay there and say, listen, they're teammates, Bernard Person, Adam Newton, and we got to battle for the lead. Sheffield down low, looking for the lead as he sees the cars coming. He says, now's the time.
Yeah, but Olsen right there goes high. I think he's really just kind of given up the position at this point. I don't know if maybe he's just doesn't have faith in the tires, or if he wants to start saving fuel now.
Well, it's real interesting, Colin, that the high, you think maybe you can hold someone off up there, but at certain points, you got to hit it just right. If you don't, you're actually quite a bit slower. And if you do hit it right, maybe you're a little faster. So it's a lot trickier than it looks out here.
Yeah, that's what we were kind of seeing right there with Newton in Person. They were running almost like a lane higher than a lot of the leaders right there, and they managed to run that gap down extremely faster than I thought they were going to be able to. Now they're behind them, they're following, but they were running 1 lane up, and they were flying down the backstretch compared to these guys.
What do they do now is the big question. Now they got to make moves. Olsen's fallen to 3rd. Whitford up to 2nd. And Whitford takes the high side. I love it. He's trying to get a little bit of a run here.
Yeah, he's going to be able to carry that entire momentum all the way down into turn 1 on the next lap just because of that momentum. You can see it. the gap he's closing, he's going to still go high here again. He's really trying to look for that pass here.
Yeah, let's hop on board and see if he heads to the wall this time around. I mean, last time he was in this corner, corner one, he was almost right against the wall for a portion of it. Tried to cut it down a little bit, something we've seen him do earlier in the season, I believe at Dover.
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of following suit behind Sheffield now. Wonder if he's really just kind of happy where he's at right now, just saving fuel.
Yeah, it could have been a one-off, or he could have been said they're too close, they're going to get underneath me here. And that's what I'm wondering about. When does Newton lose his patience? And it looks like he might be losing it now. I mean, it's one thing to help your teammate and get up there, but if you feel you're faster, got fresher tires, you got to make moves, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what Adam's really done here. He's kind of been satisfied with where he's at, but I don't think he's going to be like that for very much longer. He's going to start making these moves. He knows he's got a little bit better tires than these guys, and he's got more fuel, so he has that more confidence to really make these moves. But I think it's all about to do with timing. You know, Adam Newton is always a timing guy. He loves to do it at the best time.
George Leal back here looking to make some moves. He's underneath a Maurer. Now he's underneath a Bruce as he goes right to the yellow line. Looks pretty solid, but will he hold the momentum? He will not. Maurer going to go right around. Here comes Lester on the fresh tires, going to put Leal 3 wide. In front of them, battles everywhere. Olsen and Whitford, Newton and Person. Oh, and Whitford wiggling, bobbling. The 8 has to avoid him, comes down and gives his friend Adam Newton a push. McKinney thinking about, do I stay high? Do I go low? Where do I go?
Yeah, and we're starting to get to that part of the run where these tires are wearing out. We're already looking at 1.4 seconds of fall off on this set of tires. But remember, Adam Newton has an extra lap of tire wear. So he is really going to be able to honestly take a little bit more advantage of some of these guys. He's going to be able to make those moves, unlike Whitford would, where he got extremely loose right there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of loose out here, which is very interesting. And it seems like when guys are side by side, it's happening. So that air disturbing the cars a little bit. Sheffield, your leader, opening up about 5 car lengths to Scott Olsen. You got Newton right there in third. Person hanging on to fourth. Oh, and he's loose down on the yellow line.
And you're seeing it, and you're kind of seeing it, I think now. Sheffield is obviously gaining that gap, and Adam Newton sees that. Do you think that Adam Newton's going to start being more aggressive here so that he can't run away with this, and so he's going to be able to capitalize on pit road?
Well, Newton, as astute racer that he is out here, and he is trying to figure, you know, can I help Olsen? Olsen's solid here tonight. Can I just ride with him and drag us back up to Sheffield? He'll do this for another 4 or 5 laps. If it doesn't work, he'll say, I gotta go, and he'll make a move on Olsen. Maybe 1 or 2 corners more. Here goes Adam Newton.
I don't think it's going to last much longer. I think he really wants that second place right now.
Well, I think it's smart to draft, right? The only hope you got was Sheffield out in clear air, up 16 spots, by the way, clearly fast, is to get in here and work together in Leicester. Oh, God, I didn't know there was an opening there. I thought he had lost it. That spooked me a little bit, Colin.
That got me too, I ain't gonna lie. Shit, he's on newer tires right now, so.
I thought that was a right turn, Clyde. Anybody out there knows where that's from, put it in the chat.
So I'm looking at about lap 54 is when these guys are going to come back in again. That's going to give them another 27 laps on this fuel tank and these tires. And then after that, I believe that they should be good all the way to the end. They should be able to go to 84 at that point, and that is past even our overtime.
Lester currently shown in 25th position. We're going to go on board here, Colin, because I'm seeing this car dance.
Yeah, I think Fred's just kind of letting it hang out the window now. He knows he's got them newer tires, just seeing what he can do at this point.
That corner looked pretty solid. Let's stay with him here as he heads down into one on the bottom underneath of Olsen and Newton.
Yeah, Newton's doing great right there with that push heading into turn one. I mean, he locks on that bumper and he's able to push him almost 2 truck lengths in front of Lester that was already ahead of him.
Man, Lester wants his lap back. He's in the lucky dog spot, but no caution probably going to come out. Lester trying everything he can. Meanwhile, Sheffield continues to lead. There's Lester. Now, the thing is, you probably should have let Lester go if you could from the beginning and see if he can drag you back up there with those fresher tires. Oof,
I think
Olsen all over him.
I think Olsen can honestly take advantage of this and might be able to follow him through and pass Sheffield here, because Sheffield's going to be vulnerable whenever whenever Lester goes for this pass to get back on the lead lap. So I think that honestly, Olsen needs to be ready just in case he can make that move and take control of this lead again.
So is Lester helping or hurting Sheffield here? Looks like he's going to be hurting him now as they go side by side.
Yeah, if I was Sheffield right here, I'd let him go. Be able to really honestly manage the gap that he's already built and not try to lose any more that he can.
Looks to me like Newton back in what is scored a 3rd position right now is starting to get a little antsy back there. And Olsen is so good here tonight. Look at that corner by Olsen. He opens it up a little bit.
Yeah, even on older tires, Olsen really looks good on these longer runs. Like, he's able to honestly be able to turn more than a lot of these guys, which I like the lane he's running. He's starting high and pulling it down in the middle of the corner, really being able to get that thing to rotate.
It looks like he's really traveling through the natural groove of the track. Something that, people get out here and they think, oh, I'll go high to low. I can do anything I want out here. And the truth is, the smoother you are within that groove that you're on, the better off. You see here, 2nd lane all the way around, got that tire down on that seam. To me, that's perfect running.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we talk about tire wear on this whole race. When you're more smooth with the wheel, you're making your tires not wear out as much because you're not putting as much stress on them.
All of a sudden, don't look now, Jason Spear moving up. He's up to 14th on, and he is coming. Corey Leal back in 15th. You got Hartwick, Gilly back there in 17th. Dibbles. You got Ledford. Greg Ratliff continuing to struggle here tonight in 20th position, Colin. I'd call that a shocker.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there might be something wrong with that truck where it maybe hit the wall or something and it's gotten a little bit of damage, but definitely not tonight, as you see Jason hit pit road.
Yeah, he was first in before, and he's first in again. So we expect pit stops are imminent here as we're on lap 53 of 80. I said you have to complete 54 before you pit, but we'll see. Bernard Person comes in.
Yeah, we're going to see a couple guys honestly come in
Whitford,
at this point.
Williams, Whiting.
I think this is honestly an undercut at this point. I think these guys are trying to get ahead of a lot of these guys that are leading up front to take control of this race. Now that you see Sheffield, this is going to be the big group that's about to come down on the pit road here. Everybody's about to come in.
You're not going to make up a lot on lap times. You're not going to hemorrhage as much lap time as you would at normally on this speedway. However, I don't know if the undercut's going to work is where I'm going.
And that could be
Sheffield's
possible.
in. So from the lead, Sheffield and Olsen come in. Newton stays out.
With Helm.
Leal's in. McCanny, Maurer, Bruce, Suggs, Spear, all in. Hartwick a little later, along with Letford and Greg Ratliff, all on pit road. Newton stays out. He's all alone. He's your race leader. Brian Helm currently shown in 2nd position right now, and Jeffrey Johnson will be in 3rd.
Does Newton run an extra lap here, or do you think he comes?
He's on an extra lap. Well, he already did one extra last pit stop. We'll see. I think he stays out one more. We'll wait and see. Too. So Sheffield beats everybody off of pit road by a good margin again. Olsen with a good job holding his spot. Maurer and Leal right behind him. Newton in along with Helm. So those two will look to work together. Jeffrey Johnson behind him. Sheffield, though, has got a monster lead this time.
Yep, but now you see Derek back behind Sheffield right there. He pitted a lap earlier, and he did gain about 4 positions there just from pit road. So he did gain a little bit, but Sheffield, massive gap. I don't know what he's doing on pit road, but he is gaining so much needed time.
Yeah, he's really punishing him on pit road. That'll be the key to the victory if he does, in fact, win this race. Behind him, though, a gaggle foreman. Olson, Person, Leal, Williams, Maurer, all in this mess. And they got Lester in the mix as well.
Yeah, this is a big group of just a bundle of joy is the best way to call it.
Well, yeah,
3 wide.
You and I see joy a little differently. I just love watching the way they rotate the exit of that corner there. You can tell the difference between a good exit and a bad exit. Right now, Sheffield leading, but not by much. Whitford, 0.4 seconds behind. So Derek Whitford, we were talking about him weeks ago as he's an ascending driver here. Now is his opportunity. Currently in second, as that's Greg Ratliff going a lap down. Holy cow.
Yeah, and Ratliff just pitted too, so I do think there's something wrong with that truck. I don't think that thing is 100% right now, so I don't think we should put this all on Ratliff. I think this is honestly something wrong with the truck mechanically.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. There's often times that we don't see what's going on there, and that's probably the case. Greg, so good, usually. Person and Olson and Leal trying to run down the likes of Sheffield. I don't know. I think they're coming. It'll probably accordion back up here.
Yeah, but don't blink too much because there's Adam Newton on the back of that pack. He's going to be looking to make those moves quick.
And that's the problem with the overcut, isn't it? Okay, so you're faster. You're in 9th, and you got to pass them all on the low side. You're going to have to burn them up to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that Adam Newton knows that, so he's going to do it as quickly as possible with the tire difference that he has right now. Adam Newton just ran the fastest lap of the race.
He did indeed. So Newton starting to push forward. Person still in this thing in 3rd. Whitford in 2nd, right behind Sheffield. So Derek Whitford looking to take this thing away. He's got to get the lead. How long would you wait here, Colin, to make your move?
Not a lot. I think that once again, it's all about tire wear. These tires are definitely going to get worn out at the end of this run, and it's going to be harder to pass. So honestly, I think the 42 is going to try to make this move as soon as possible. I mean, you see it right now.
Big run, and he does not choose to make the run. He's going to go, he wants to separate. Well, I think what the 42 is thinking is, let's keep the lead and settle it amongst us. But you got Greg Ratliff right there. Ratliff going to play an important role, even though he's a lap down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, honestly, if it wasn't for Ratliff, that the 42 would have not have caught him this quick. But, I mean, you already see it. The group behind them is on that back bumper of Ratliff, so they are going to be in contention for this win. As you see Newton to the inside of Maurer.
Yeah, Newton making moves back here. He's got McCanny with him, so McCanny's going to help him come through there. Oh, and he leaves him, so he's not really going to help him very long. The two down on the bottom rotating underneath the Claus Williams. Ken Newton comes screaming back up to the front. Sheffield leading. Whitford, Person, Olson, and Leal top 5. Williams, Newton, Maurer, McCanny, and Bruce in the top 10. Newcomer Brian Helm right there in 11th. Here we go.
Here we go.
Olson and Person hook up together. They're making their move. Oh, and Olson leaves them.
To the inside, though.
Here comes George Leal? No.
Oof.
That is Leal. Oh, yes, there he is in 4th position. So George Leal right in the mix, and he always shows up late, folks. Watch out for the 51.
I can feel the aggression building in a lot of these guys. We still got 19 to go too.
If I was Sheffield, you'd feel my aggression because I'd be so ticked off that they've all accordion back up to me. Anybody's game here in the top 10 or so, maybe further back than that. 18 laps remaining. Olsen, a little wobble as he tries to come underneath the Leal. He can't find his way back in line. Newton takes that spot. Newton going to go around on the high side. They're coming ever so close together. Olsen and Newton. Leal slides up the track in front of Newton. Wow!
And now this front pack is getting bigger and bigger each lap with all these battles. It's going to open up the opportunity for a lot of these guys to be able to get this win here.
Olsen racing his heart out on the bottom, but it's not the place to be. Newton trying to get around. Can't. Great race brewing. 17 to go in the Lisa Laing 160.
And I seriously do think that this really just shows how good the 61 is of Scott Olsen is tonight. I mean, you have not been able to see anybody hold on to that bottom for this long in a run so far, and he's being able to do it with the dude that has the best tires out on track.
Person makes his move down to the bottom. Now it comes up to the middle. The 8 trying to get around Whitford. Behind him, Leal, Olsen, and others keep battling. A little bit of loose. That's going to put Person 3 wide. He's stuck in the middle like an Oreo cookie.
All right, now I'm hungry. Oreos?
Dip or no dip?
Dip.
Right in the middle.
Wow,
Person still fighting. 3 wide. We're going to go down into 1. 3 wide one more time. Looks like Leal might be backing out and getting back in line.
You see the aggression. They're so aggressive right now, and all this is doing is putting a smile on Sheffield's face because he's not involved in any of it. Oh, oof. Big moment right there from Adam
Newton is
Newton.
all kinds of loose on the high side. Almost lost it. Person has got to get clear, or Whitford's got to get clear. One of the two. Person does it. Great run through the corner. Wow. Maurer drops down where there was no room right behind Leal. They're on the bottom. Here comes Olsen down the middle.
Again. Here we go.
Crazy, crazy stuff out here. Person looking for the lead. Side by side contact. And he's loose. He saves it. But that's effectively going to do it for his chances here. Wow.
What a save. That is a hard save to make right there.
It's a great save. And Sheffield holds on. Now Olsen clear somehow back up to second.
And we've seen it throughout the night. Olsen's car is just so good on these long runs. He's able to turn him so well, so he's going to have a shot at this. And Leal constantly making that inside move right there. He is confident in his truck on the bottom.
Wow, what a race here. 13 to go. Leal, a little shake from the 2, a secondary shake. Ooh. Maurer stays with him.
Leal's confident in that car right now. He is able to hug that bottom so well compared to all these other drivers.
Bruce and McCanny, along with Helm, battling inside the top 10. Out front, Sheffield.
Big moment right there with the 8 of Bernard Person. Seemed like he just thought he was clear, but he wasn't. Almost in himself in the wall.
Person trying to come back from that contact for the lead. He's driving with fire in the belly.
And Leal to the inside of Derek Whitford right now. I'm telling you, Leal looks phenomenal on the bottom part of the racetrack right now.
So George Leal down on the bottom, on that yellow line temporarily. Underneath of Whitford. Whitford's been up here all night, as Olsen. Sheffield, of course, leading.
Yeah, all Leal needs is some help on that bottom right now, and I think that he'd really be able to contend up front in this lead. Still able to hold it.
We're coming down to 10 to go,
Oh,
and I
if
still
he could
have
just clear
no
'em.
idea who's going to win.
There we go. There we go. Now Newton's going to be able to push Leal here, see if he cannot clear this 42 going into this corner, and Adam Newton's going to try to follow him.
Oh,
He's got to be careful.
Olsen was closing down on Leal, but there was no more room to be had.
And this is going to hurt the momentum of both of the inside drivers, but it seems like they're going to get help from the 60 here.
And see, they go side by side, and Sheffield walks out a 2 or 3 car lead.
Now
there goes
Leal.
Leal. The way he's diving into that corner is incredible. The 51 into second in front of Olsen. Here comes Maurer as well. Olsen all over the 51, pushing him.
Now that George Leal's ran a lot of these tires on the bottom, I don't know if he's going to have enough to get by this 36. He's going to have to do it quickly here.
9 to go at the line. Sheffield leading, Leal chasing. Olsen, Newton, and Maurer right in it along with Whitford and Person. Here comes Brian Helm down on the bottom.
Bernard Person still trying to make up those positions that he lost from that save that he had earlier. Just doesn't seem like he can get it done. He knows he can be up front, though.
I think the car is probably spent as regards to running the bottom at this point. Hard to say for certain. Never count out the 8. However, it's Sheffield, Leal, and Olsen. Newton lingering, looking to make moves, and Maurer's been kind of helping him for a lot of this run.
Yep, he's going to help him here going into the turn. And look at what Leal's doing. He was sticking his nose out, honestly, like trying to scare Sheffield. He's going to go to the inside for the lead here. Just not enough turn right now.
Great move, though. Shaking it up. Contact behind him. Newton gets into someone. It looks like Newton and Olsen come together. That's going to hurt them both.
Yep, and Maurer was not there to save Newton right there, and he needed to clear him there.
Newton this time looks like he is clear of the 61. He's got to get in front of him. A little wiggle. Olsen thinking about going to the bottom.
To the bottom here, yep.
So Olsen will take that run and see what he can do with it. He stays up a little high and rides the 2 higher. Wow! Oh. And he's a little loose. The 61 out of shape. He's going to come back up right in front of Maurer. Holy cow!
Good switchback there from Maurer. Now he's going to be able to look on the inside and see if he can't clear him. Almost slide job him into the corner, and now he can start helping Adam Newton again. See if he can't start getting him up to the front here.
I don't know. He might be thinking about getting himself up there too. Maurer looking strong. Getting down to 6 to go. Sheffield still your leader. McKinney hits pit road. Unexpected pit stop. My goodness, I don't think he had the fuel to make it. Colin, we got any other concerns of anybody out on the track here?
I tell you who's not concerned. Adam Newton. He ran that extra lap. He knows that he can make it. I'm scared with Brandon Sheffield though. He's been up front leading this entire run. So he's gonna be definitely getting close to running out as he's coming to the line here.
All right. He has opened up a couple of car lengths over Leal in second. So Leal still pushing. He gathers up, comes right back to the bumper here. Watch out for George Leal. Hell, Adam Newton, Nate Maurer, Olsen, all still in it. Coming down to 4 to go.
I think these 3 need to honestly work together because it's going to be hard to get around Sheffield. Newton's really got to help Leal. If he does try to make a move to the inside, he's got to follow him.
You see Leal stick his nose out there. Veteran move, getting a little air on that front end. You see he's still pushing up the track because of the dirty air, but he gets a big run. Sheffield a little loose. Here comes Newton down low.
Newton to the high side now.
Leal
there we go.
down
Leal
to the bottom. Battle for the race lead. The 51, George Leal looking for the lead. Sheffield battling back on the outside. Leal has to pinch it. He's a little slow. Sheffield going to roll past on the outside. Back in line he goes.
Adam Newton's going to have the most momentum here. See what he
Now
can do with it.
Maurer looks to make moves. Maurer down to the bottom.
Adam Newton running the highest lane right here. He's going to have a lot of momentum down the straightaway.
What a race. 3 to go. Sheffield, Leal, Newton, and Maurer. Olsen and Person right there.
They're looking to the bottom again here. See if he can't clear him. He just cannot get there. He's got to be able to make that move all the way coming out of turn 2.
Good drive off, though, by the 51 that time from the bottom. Is going to keep him to the inside here. Can Leal do something? Here comes Newton.
Adam Newton?
Newton's got nowhere to go. Who does he want to help?
I think he's going to help himself.
That's who he really wants to help, no doubt. He goes to the bottom, so Leal's got help here. Newton zigging and zagging. He doesn't know what line he wants to help.
Leal still looking to the inside here. Just going to drive it in as deep as possible. Try to diamond that corner. I mean, Leal is making that bottom work right now, and I really don't know how with those tires.
A better roll even than last time. The 51, even with the 36 for the race lead. They head down in. It's 2 to go. Corner 3. Leal down low. Sheffield up high.
And Newton backed off a little bit off these guys to try and create that run coming to the final lap. They're going to come to the white flag here.
Almost contact there, Colin.
Dead even at the line. Leal actually got a little bit of a nose ahead. See if he cannot get there off of the turn 4. Man, they are side by side.
He's yawed out the 51. He's giving it everything he got. Down low, the 51. Up high, the 36. They stay side by side. One corner to settle it all. Here he comes. Leal throws it in there. Can he hold it down there? Sheffield pressing him. He's coming up. Almost contact. George Leal looking to make the move. He goes down low at the line. It's going to be George Leal pulling it off. What a move.
What a finish. Oh my gosh. Won by 1/100th of a second there. Oh.
George Leal waited. He tried with about 3 to go, worked it as hard as he possibly could, and he stole it. Well, he earned this race. What a drive by the 51 here in the Lisa Laing Memorial 160, brought to you by Dream Vacations. Unbelievable race here tonight, Colin.
Unbelievable finish. My heart is racing right now.
It's Sheffield second, Newton third, Olsen fourth, and Bernard Person battle back for fifth. Good run by everybody up there in the top 10. Heck, there was runs up and down this field. That was a thrilling race, Colin.
Wow. It was. That was one of the best finishes I've ever seen. I mean, the gap, literally, it doesn't even show how close it is for us. It is that close. We're seeing 0.00 on our screens right now.
George Leal out there burning them down. He's going to do something a little different here. He is truly going to try and burn them down. I think he's going to pop one of these things. Oh, and this is the new dog walk. How about this, Colin? Look at this.
Hey, that's what I like to call letting them all hang out.
Something a little different from the 51 here. Just giving me the side eye. A thrilling, fun, entertaining race here tonight. Right now, let's take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some race interviews in. A little look at Oswego there. I'm not sure how to say that, Colin. Maybe you need to help me out.
It's Oswego.
Oswego, thank you very much, sir. I know.
Canadian speech, man.
Okay, you know, I'm not down there at your local short tracks in the States, but I certainly love racing them when I can. And I love calling these races. I mean, this was awesome. I mean, I don't know how it was racing, but you had a little bit of everything there. Looked like Person was going to come in there, a little contact. He saves it. Great save. Saves a top 5 finish. You had Olson out there leading, Newton on the tires in the later stops. Maurer was involved. Bruce did a lot late to get up into seventh. Whitford was up there. Helm on his debut. I mean, up and down the lineup, Colin.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely phenomenal race. I mean, we saw side by side racing all night, aggressive but clean racing. This race ran 80 laps clean. Definitely a couple incidents here and there, but nothing enough to really bring out that caution. You see the margin of victory, 0.007 seconds. This is a back-to-back win for George Leal, so this is going to help him in that points battle.
Yeah, I don't often go to the fourth digit. I mean, that is a close one, no doubt about it. We look beyond where Helmet was in ninth. Klaus Williams was up there for a while as well. He finishes 10th. Whiting, Spear, Gilly, Suggs, Leal, Dibble, Johnson, Ledford, Martin, all inside the top 20. Just great racing out here. I can't say enough about it. And maybe that's because we got other people to talk to. They've got things to say. Let's bring them in as we bring in the Bulldog himself, last year's champion, Adam Newton, current points leader. What a thrilling race. Congrats on third, Adam.
Thank you. I'm El Stupido tonight, just for my Colin Kennedy.
Let it go.
Yeah,
The fans don't know about it, Adam. Well,
it
Adam, we
was
were
on my
talking
mind to
about
get a podium tonight.
we're talking about your acumen, your brain, your intelligence here tonight with your pit stops. Tell us a little bit about your strategy.
No, it was save gas, stay hydrated, try to finish the race was the main goal. I didn't even expect to do this good after hearing what the guys were talking about the truck.
I mean, it was interesting to watch. So you had tires, but we seen a lot of wiggling out of that machine at certain different times. What was causing the car to get loose at times? Was it side by side or just guys in front or behind you?
Dumping the air on the guy. If you got real tight up on him and you dump the air on the back or the nose of the truck, you'd lose it every single time. And it wasn't like a gradual snap neither. It was like instant. So it made it really hard to drive.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some just absolutely great saves. I think you were a part of them. And the other thing I wanted to talk about too was guys moving lines, right? Like if you see the hind line moving, there's an opening. You got to get in there. There were some daring moves to slip in line, wasn't there?
Absolutely. And what I noticed, and the only way I could really give George a shot, you had to have someone push you. If you didn't have the help, you just couldn't run that individual down. And that's why I couldn't get in the mix with him and Brandon, because I didn't have nobody pushing
Well,
me.
was that part of your thing during the one run? I don't know if it was the last run or not, but you were working well with others, and I was kind of thinking, I don't think you were even really trying to make a move. You were trying to get back to the leader, were you not?
A little bit of both. Once I saw how loose both of them were getting, I knew that Nate was saving a little bit, and I was hoping that we could make a charge, but it didn't turn out that way. But it was still an awesome finish, and whatnot.
Yeah, it was a great finish. There's no doubt about it. A thrilling race. Adam, you were a big part of it. That late pit stops, charging, trying everything you can. Ultimately third, and you continue to with the points lead. It's absolutely fantastic. And congrats on third place, brother. Anybody you want to thank or shout out, you go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm glad to still be up there after this week. Yeah, Mama June's first and foremost. The guys here at RGR, think all the Spear guys. Congrats to Brandon and George on their podium finishes, and just want to give a shout out and prayers to Lance, with his mother passing this week, and Susan as well. Keeping her in our thoughts during her treatment time and whatnot, and hope they get better, and prayers for their families.
Absolutely. That's Adam Newton, folks. We second that up here in the booth. You know, I lost my father about a year ago now, and yeah, very, very painful, and sometimes a blessing in disguise for anybody in pain. And that we're shout out to the Ripka family. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. Colin, back to the race though. Hey, that was third place finisher Adam Newton in the 2 machine.
Yeah, and I'm here with Brandon Sheffield, finishing second here on the night. I mean, just inches, maybe even the centimeters from a win, Brandon. I mean, just talk about that last battle right there you had with Leal. I mean, you were in the lead for so long. I mean, do you think that you could go back and change anything? Would there be anything you would do different?
Brandon Sheffield, you got your ears on?
Yeah, you guys got me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
gotcha.
I don't know, my push to talk button just quit working, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, sorry guys. Yeah, I mean, going back and watching it, sitting here waiting to get called up in the booth with you guys, I think there's a bunch I could have done different, but you're out front for so long watching these guys build runs in your mirror. You know, you have your line you like to run. You watch these guys throw it in there, and the first 2 or 3 don't work, and you think, well, I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and it'll work out. And then get somebody like George who could wrap the bottom there those last couple laps, and I don't know how he was able to make it stick. Trying to hold him tight, but also not trying to mess yourself up, and came up just short.
Yeah, absolutely, and I completely agree with what you say about George. We're still shocked that he was able to run that bottom so well too. But Brandon, I mean, you look phenomenal on the night. I want to really just talk about these pit stops. Every single time you came down pit road, it seemed like you'd have almost like a half of a second gap on these guys. What were you doing differently? I mean, I understand if you don't want to spoil it or keep your secrets to yourself, but like just explain kind of what the advantages were and really how it set yourself out and let you lead those laps for so many.
Yeah, I mean, you know, first things first is go out and get a really good marker during practice. So figure out exactly how far you can bring it into pit road. I practiced pit road 3-4 times before the race started, and I think a lot of people do that. But the thing that I try to do, because I think it helps, is I don't just, you know, do pit road entry, and as soon as I get across the line and I'm safe, go, okay, that's good. I know where my marker is now. I do the whole pit stop. And so I know exactly what RPM I want to leave the box at, how quickly I can get the thing wide open to get it up to 55 miles an hour, what gear to have it in when you hit the green line at the end to get going, and then can you flat foot it all the way to the blue cone off of turn 2, which you can here. So it's every little bit. It all adds up at the end.
Absolutely, Brandon. I mean, you look phenomenal on pit road tonight, and I definitely think that it speaks tone on your racecraft. I mean, you look phenomenal throughout the night. I think that truthfully you were really in the catbird seat right there to win that race. And I think you just came up just a little bit short, just a little bit with the truck just kind of wearing out there. But phenomenal night. You got 14 positions on the night. Is there anyone you want to thank or anyone you want to shout out here?
Yeah, thank you. And getting tired of finishing second, but still glad to be here talking to you guys. Want to thank you for putting on a great broadcast. Got to thank the RGR guys. Again, another caution-free night. This league's awesome. CadenHammondFoundation.org on the truck. Go to that website if you guys want to learn more about that foundation that we're getting set up for my nephew. I'm trying to get that rolling. Ed Kane CPA also on the truck. Tax season's always around the corner. Give Ed a call. Got to thank the boys over at GDR. Derek, he was my wingman there for quite a while, and I was hoping I could keep him up there and keep a buffer, but just didn't work out, and Jason got caught speeding tonight. So Ed and Nick couldn't make it tonight. Hoping they're back here with us here shortly. Thanks, guys.
Yep, no problem. Thank you, Brandon. Congratulations.
All right. That was second place, Brandon Sheffield. He was only second for 1 lap, and that's because the 51, George Leal, worked hard and long there at the end. Well, seemed long, 3 or 4 laps there, George, making those moves. Congratulations on what was a truly thrilling victory.
I appreciate it, Dean. That was awesome. I got my heart pumping there.
Well, let's start with where Brandon was talking about. I mean, you're riding the bottom there. One of only a few. We've seen, Person did it a bit, Maurer did it a bit, but you seemed like at the end you had no choice, and you figured something out. You were coming off that corner, even though the high side had a little more momentum. You had more momentum than what was normal for the bottom.
Yeah, I definitely kind of figured out. We were practicing last night, and the track was about 10 or 12 degrees hotter, and you couldn't do anything down there. So the first couple of runs, I didn't really give it much of a try. And then I I got behind Maurer and I was giving him some pushes, and he was taking advantage of it and making it work. And I didn't know if it was actually working that well or these guys were just burning the tires up. But I've kind of figured out coming through there that if I let off a little earlier, but I didn't let off as much, I could kind of roll and it would help me turn a little bit, and I could kind of drive through the middle a little better. And on exit, everybody's kind of lifting here and there, trying to catch their car sliding, and I just keep full throttle, and I think that really is what did it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right, George. Tell us a little bit about coming through, and I don't mean coming from the back to where you picked up 8 spots on the night, but in the pack late, in that first to fifth, there's a lot of shuffling going around. Guys try low, it doesn't work. Guys getting side by side, 3 wide, a little beating, a little banging, a little slipping in line with only inches there. Tell us a little bit how the heart was pumping there.
Yeah, it was awesome racing. Everybody was driving real hard. I just knew on that last run, I just had to try to run it as hard as I could. If I burn them up, I burn them up. But you had to be real calculated on when you wanted to try to go low, because if you got caught down there, you could lose a spot or two, maybe more. And I was fortunate enough. Adam Newton, a huge thank you he pushed me 2 or 3 different times to get by people. But I think that was what gave him and I both the best chance to get up there.
Well, George, you move up in the points here a little bit, a little closer now to their leader, Adam Newton, about 25 points. You think you got something for him here?
Doubt it. That guy's super good in these trucks. He's super consistent. I'm going to end up missing a race. I think I'll miss Bristol. So that would be pretty tough. But I'm going to give it all I got.
Well, in that case, go get you some more victories. And by all means, George, thrill us some more with these finishes. That was unbelievable. Congrats on this thrilling victory here. We'll give you the mic, brother. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, appreciate it. I'll shout out to Lisa Laing family and all the people that cared for her, and ACS Live Church. Thank you for sponsoring the series. Adam Newton for the pushes. Matt Maurer gave me a couple during the race too, and Brandon Sheffield, the guy's just an awesome racer. He's going to get some wins here soon, and once he does, he's going to start clicking them off. And I also want to shout out my Aunt Susan. She's having a tough time. Her and my Uncle Paul are kind of laying low tonight and just trying to hopefully she feels better. And last but not least, shout out to Buckshot and the Ripka family. They suffered a tough loss this week, and our thoughts and prayers are with them.
Yeah, we second all those for sure. Colin, race winner George Leal in the 51 machine.
Yeah, and it's almost deja vu. I mean, you saw it last week at Phoenix. We're going back to back here. I mean, you hear Leal, he's going to miss that race in Bristol, but I still don't think we should count him out yet. You don't know if Adam Newton's going to have a bad race or if he can't make a race. And Leal's going to be able to close that gap. So definitely don't think that Adam Newton has this championship won just yet.
I mean, because it's not just George Leal either. Sheffield just 4 behind Leal. Maurer's in it. Claus Williams is in it. So, I mean, there is a lot going on here. And I don't even think people care about the points if we're going to race like that. A thrilling race here at Michigan. I personally believe it's because there's a Canadian flag here, Colin.
No, I don't agree.
No agreeing there. We've enjoyed this. Of course, we have all the coverage every Thursday, 9 p.m. It's the RGR Racing League. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Colin J. Kennedy, that's going to wrap it up here from Michigan, and we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel